This is Jasper, and he's making sure he's got all of my stuff ready to go for me, aren't you? I'll have to pull the rest out. I actually started getting my tools out this morning, making sure I knew what I had and what I needed. And, oh my goodness, I started pulling everything out of the little chest that I keep it in, and this guy and his sister both. There she is. Both went nuts and were really, really hyper. I think they're really happy that we're getting some ritual work going because we haven't worked together in, boy, a long, long time, huh? Hey everybody, this is Cypris. Welcome back to the wild. And I am really excited today to be able to share something with you. It's space clearing night here. We've got a waning moon and the house is finally clean, so it's a really good time to go through and get any possible stale or negative energy out of this house. So what I'm going to share with you tonight, is an old recipe that I have been cobbling together for 10, maybe more than 10 years. There's a lot of eclectic elements in it. I've taken some of it from feng shui manuals. I've taken some of it from Northern European folk traditions. Some of it's got to be borrowed from Native American traditions. So it's just a random collection of things. But like I said, it's something I've been working on for years now. And it's something that I really love. I'm going to be walking you through the full ritual, which is probably super overkill for most of you. Most of the time when people do a space clearing, maybe they smudge, with sage, or the other thing I've seen people do is just burn salt and alcohol in each room of the house and call it good. So it really depends on your needs, time constraints. I just really like doing the whole thing because it's fun. I like ritual. I like the trappings of it. I like the tactileness of the tools and the smell of the candles and the incense, and plus I really like to be thorough, and so I like to do all the steps. I'm going to include directions for the whole thing, and you can take what you want and leave the rest. I like to do the full ritual for a new house that I'm moving into. This house has had more than 40 years of life before I came to it, and I don't know what went on here. Who knows what kind of weird things happened in this house and what kind of negativity, like grumpy people are grumpy, like really grumpy, and people are grumpy in their homes, and I don't want any of that residually, like, accidentally clinging on me or something. So I just want to do the whole thing and clear it out and just be safe. I've been here for 3 months now. I haven't noticed anything real negative, just some staleness in the house. But like I said, better safe than sorry. The other thing I would recommend a full ritual for is if the reason you're doing a space clearing is because you have something that you need to evict. If you've got an energy in the house, an entity, a presence, something not right, do the whole thing. Be thorough, get it the heck out of there. I can personally vouch for this particular ritual because I have used it for evicting before, and it turned out to be quite effective. So that's a fun story. Maybe we'll talk about it on another video. Like I said, you may not need or want to do the whole altar and trappings and all that, but boy, it sure is fun. So let's go through it. The first step with any space clearing, of course, is to clean the whole house. All of it. Like, sweep the floors, wipe down the walls, the ceiling fans, like everything. The cleaner the house is, the easier it is for the energy work to happen, right? One kind of cleaning reflects the other kind of cleaning, right? All the different levels of experience and existence reflect and echo down and up through each other. So clean the house, declutter the house. This is easier for some people than others, but the more you can clean, the more it helps. I have spent the last 3 months cleaning this house because it was that gross. I have had to cover every square inch of this house with multiple scrubbings. I was really happy accident. I didn't want any chemicals in the house because I knew I was going to be doing that much cleaning. And the idea of spraying down the walls with 409 or some other chemical in that much quantity just made my lungs cry, just the idea of it. So I looked up natural recipes and found just water, vinegar, and baking soda in a spray bottle. I don't know how many times I had to mix new solution up, but this was really effective for cleaning. Whatever this didn't take off, Magic Eraser took off. And Magic Eraser doesn't have any chemicals in it. I'm not sure that the fibers are 100% good for lungs, but there are no chemicals in Magic Erasers. So the thing that was really awesome about using this baking soda solution is that baking soda is salt. Basically, I got a layer of salt on every square inch of the house, which means I started doing the space clearing as I was actually cleaning the house, because as long as I was keeping even half of my mind on some kind of positive intent or cleaning the house, helping the house, healing the house, that residue of salt that got left everywhere meant that that salt got left behind to keep absorbing any kind of negativity. And I will tell you what, this was not something I did with intent because I wasn't thinking about it until later. But after I had gotten a few rooms clean this way, not only was the smell better, because, you know, clean and smell and gross, but not only was the smell better, but the energetic signature in the house was improving. And it was such a pleasant surprise to me, and it just wasn't something I'd ever thought about before, read about before, that anybody had talked about with me before. Cleaning the house with baking soda and vinegar really, really helps with the energy as well. And I just, where was this all my life? So that is a fantastic energy cleaning hack. After cleaning the house, the next step, when you're ready to do the ritual, is to stop the electricity to the house. The reason for that is because, as many of you probably are familiar, when the electricity is running through the house, it interferes with energy, with energy flow, energy work. And when you're going through trying to clean the whole house, if you just flip the breaker to the whole house, you've got this energetically, electrically calm space to work with. And I think it's just that much easier. You're not having to overcompensate. That's not going to work for us tonight because I can't film in the dark. So we're going to be leaving the lights on, but I've got Himalayan rock salt lamps all over the house to help counteract the electricity vibes. So we'll see how that works. Not everybody's going to be able to stop the electricity. That's a big deal. But if you've got an entity that is turning electrical things on and off or messing with things that run on electricity, it's a really good idea to turn the electricity off before space clearing, because if it's feeding off of that or attached to that in some way, then removing that from the playing field, I think, just makes the whole thing a lot easier. So just, something to consider. So then the next step, after the whole house is clean and ready, is to make sure you are ready. And that means a ritual bath, which is a whole nother topic, probably a whole nother video. And I am going to go do that because I haven't done that yet. And then we can get on with this thing. So I'll be right back. Okay, folks, I am back. I am now clean, both physically and energetically, and I am prepared to call upon the gods, the ancestors, and the jinn, or whoever it is that you call upon. So, after a ritual bath, it is a good idea to get centered. Ideally, one wants to be centered both internally and with the house. And so the best place is actually on the fireplace hearth. But a lot of houses don't have a hearth anymore. There's no fireplace, there's nothing. So you have to kind of play it by ear. I have always looked for a sort of central location in the house, keeping in mind that furnace vents are kind of sort of chimneys. But fortunately, there is a chimney stack in this house. You can see it, this thing right here. It's walled in on all four sides, so I have no idea what the chimney's for. If there was a fireplace, if there was a wood-burning stove, if the furnace used to be in a different place, I have no idea. But there's an actual chimney. You can see the bricks coming up out of the roof outside. So I've got an energetic channel to focus on, which is really nice. Alrighty, so step 4 is to get centered. Normally you would face the altar doing this, but I'm trying to show you and not like turn my back to you, so I hope you appreciate the sacrifices that I'm making for you. Okay. Great Mother, Great Goddess, and my spirit guides, and all my helper friends, I ask you and invite you to help me to cleanse this space. So this is the part where it starts to feel like a wake or a wedding, because it's like, oh, hi Grandma, yeah, I guess I haven't talked to you in a while, and oh, great Grandma, how's it going? And oh, Ganesh, yeah, about that. And everybody's just coming in, and oh, it's so good to see you, and oh, yeah, how's it been? And so, like, it just gets really crowded really fast, but it's, like, really cheerful and good, but it's, anyway, fun times. After centering and connecting with divinity in whatever way that you connect with divinity, it's time to wake or activate the altar. Step 4, activate the altar. So I'm taking a little bit of oil. This is clove oil. And I'm anointing the candles so that we just do everything super thoroughly because it's fun. Cloves, man. It smells like wintertime and gingerbread and ginger snaps. It smells like ginger snap cookies, and that is a really happy smell. Sandalwood is also really good for cleaning energy. So the idea is you anoint these candles with the kind of energy that you want inherent in these oils. Get one drop on there, one drop on there, and then when you burn them, that energy just diffuses into the ether. But also it helps small businesses sell products like essential oils. Okay, lavender and sage, also really, really good cleaning herbs. So drop of each of these. Okay, a drop or two. You don't have to be super exact. Oh, it's smelling good in here. Alright, these things can go. Now, I like to use real matches instead of the lighters. These just feel more magical to me. I like the magical explosion of striking the match. I just think it's just more in league with the ambience. Matches are way spookier than a Zippo lighter. So I think a lighter would work just fine, but I like to go spooky. So I managed to get all of the candles lit with one match. That's a really good sign. I don't think I've ever done that before, so I'm feeling really proud of myself now. In order to open the altar as a connected space to source, I like to draw out the lines loosely with an obsidian athame. Now that the altar has been established, the next thing I like to do is to light the incense. Just because what altar doesn't have incense on it? I'm saying. So let's do it. Now this incense came from the de-clutter monks, and I'm probably not saying it right, but they made this incense according to a strict and ancient recipe. So this is like official sacred incense of Buddhist monks. I have actually waited to open this package for 2 or 3 years so that the first piece of incense from them, there it goes, would be in my home when I had one, and now I have one. So thank you to the Loseling monks. Alrighty, once. Ooh. Oh, that was trippy. Oh, we've got some energy going tonight. This is gonna be interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen. I just had a really heavy, well, not heavy, but concentrated column of cold just right down. So I don't know who's here helping me or what energies we're stirring up, but we're already getting somewhere. This is going to be exciting. So where was I? I'm going to have that feeling now like somebody's watching me. Well, aside from you guys, of course. So the altar is definitely functioning. Now we have to set up the whole house. So what I'm going to do is take sea salt around the perimeter of the house and put this in every door frame and every windowsill. And that way we've got sort of a shield wall playing interference with any negative energy that might want to come into the house. It's going to get absorbed into the salt. At least that's the plan. So that is step 6 with the salt. The thing is, you want to start in the actual main doorway of the house, the main entrance. So we're just going to shake some salt. Nothing fancy. Ideally, one might have a more cool looking apparatus for the salt, but it gets the job done. And I'm going to go around and do this to all of the doors and the windows. Okay, so the second part of step 6 is to not only put salt on all the doors and windows, but also light a candle in each door and window throughout the entire house. This is the part that you really have to start watching the cats, because as much as they like to help, you guys can sometimes not pay attention to candles the way you need to. So just make sure there's no fires. Right? Alrighty, so we've got our perimeter set up. Everything's ready to go. all the prep work is now done. We're ready to actually start clearing the space. So the very first thing to do, step 7, is to clap. Go around the house, starting from that main starting point, going around and clapping from low to high. Start in the basement, work your way up to the attic. I've only got 1 floor, so this is going to be a little faster. And it helps to say something, to get things shaken up and out. So as I go around, clapping things out, to all stale things and negatives, I usher you, get out. To all stale things and negatives, I usher you, get out. And go around the whole house and do that. So for step 7, we're going to start at the front door where we started. We're going to start the front door every time and go around, clap from low to high, chasing all the bad stuff out. So we go around and all of the doors, all the closets, all the cabinets, everything's open. So all of the energy just gets all just kind of crazy in here. We're going to stir it all up. The next step, step 8, sweep what we just dug up. We're going to sweep it all out of the house. We're going to go around the house with a broom. I'll show you, hold on. Okay, so back at the altar, I've got my broom. Now this is clearly not the broom that I sweep the floor with, right? That wouldn't be good. But this is a broom for sweeping energy. And so I'm going to go around the house and sweep out, doing the same thing I did with the clapping. Well, instead of shaking it loose, I'm going to sweep it out. So that's step 8. Is that step 8? That is step 8. All right, so I've just finished step 8, sweeping what we kicked up while we were clapping. I swept it all out, making sure to get behind doors and open doors and all the little corners. The next step is to purge what's left with smudging. We're going to take, I've got sage in here. I'm going to take these matchsticks out. They're probably fine to take out now. I've still got some sage in here. And I'm going to take a candle with me and just fan getting all the negatives out of the house. Chemically is not quite the right word, but so. This is the part that would be really useful to have somebody to help me film, because then you could see taking this around. But basically, this around the whole house is getting the sage smoke to clean everything up, purge everything. That's the last of the getting rid of the bad. And throughout this process, I've seen a few little sparks, little flitty things, not much. Haven't sensed any resentment anywhere as I push things out. The house is actually pretty clean, and I've never actually run into that before. I don't know if the people who lived here before were really energetically clean people, or if it has something to do with the way that the energy flows through the environment here. There's I don't want to get too far into it, but there's some kind of vortex or energy flow going through here that might also be affecting it. So, ooh, I just saw something move. Okay, so there's things in the house. Whoa, who is that? Who are you? It's gotta be somebody friendly, but that really just freaked me out right now. Somebody coming out of the bathroom. Freaking me out right now. So I think it's time for step 10, We're going to start the smudging. That's not to clean up the bad stuff, but the smudging for calling in the good stuff. So we're going to turn to the sweetgrass, which has it burns with a sweet smell, and it calls in the positive energy. So I'm going to go around just like I did with the sage and use a candle right from the altar. And I got to carry the candle with me because the smoke will keep going out. This will pull in more positive energy. So that's the next step. To all good things and helper friends, I invite you, join the dance. I've seen a little more activity in the house now that we've shaken everything up and purified things. I have to assume it's not negative stuff because I've already cleared out the negative stuff, but it's still really unnerving to see stuff moving that isn't there. I think things are just messing with me, but we've got a few more steps to go, so that will help. Get me a little weirded out. Sweetgrass. Done. It's time to just reset everything with a positive chime or sound. You can use a bell, you can use cymbals. I like to use the Tibetan singing bowl that I picked up when I was in Rome. Here's a minute. Talk about space clearing. So I'm going to take this around and strike it and get a really strong resonating chime and completely reset the energy and the space. And so that's step 11. So one of the things I want to do before I go on any further is to kind of clean this. This is a bag of old photographs that I found when I was cleaning the house, and these are family photos that go back quite a ways. Normally I would just get these to the people they belong to, but with this being a foreclosure, I guess what happened was the people that left the house left lots and lots of stuff in the house. Not only did they leave all their stuff here, there's really no way for me to get a hold of them. Watch that candle. Do not tip that candle over, dude. Hold on. Hey! Look at that mess! What did you do? Okay, so that's one candle down. Freaking moths flying around. So I want to sort of clear the energy out of these as part of the letting go of the house, of the energy that's been in it. And then I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to have to respectfully burn them because I don't know. Throwing them away is just kind of creepy, and I don't know that I want to save them. Anyway. After putting the chime all through the house, we have reset the energetic tone for the whole house. Any creepy crawlies that I see are going to be not negative. Unless I did this wrong, which I do not believe that I did. Alright, so now it's time. Ooh, there's still stuff coming through here. Energetically, I just saw something. So that's kind of exciting. I have not set up an altar in this house before, and the first time I do, it's very active, as though the space was already accustomed to acting in that way. It's kind of funny. So reconnect with the altar and consecrate the wine. Wine isn't a necessary part of a space clearing, but I like to use wine as a part of almost all of my rituals because it's wine. And why wouldn't you? But also because wine is a sacred ceremonial libation that has gone back, what, Stone Age time-ish? To consecrate the wine and sort of close the ceremony, I'm going to call on the divine again. Great Mother, great Goddess, the Lady Queen of Heaven, I am grateful, I am grateful, I am grateful. I am grateful for a strong heart, for the love of family, and for a home. I lay this offer on the altar of love, thy greatest gift. So mote it be. So mote it be. So mote it be. So now we drink in gratitude, and also it's wine. Part of this glass I'm going to pour a little bit out on either side of the front door into the ground as a sort of way of connecting the ritual that we conducted inside the house with the outside of the property. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. Alright, so I have poured out offerings of the sacramental wine onto either side of the door, and all that's left to do now is to deactivate the altar, sort of close it down. What I like to do is to leave it running, so to speak, for a little while before I close it down. So I'm grateful to the gods, the spirit guides, and helper friends that have been in attendance with me this evening and helped me to clean this space. As I close the altar, may the space remain open until I break it down. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. So to undo the space, loosely, I mean it's a figurative gesture, right? And now, that was number 15. Step 16 is optional. 16 involves sitting in the newly cleansed space, enjoying candlelight and new vibes in the space, and sipping wine and just pondering the connection with the space, goals for the space, and wine. So I'll leave you with that. Cheers. Thanks for watching. And keep it wild, guys.